Welcome to another meeting of the Lorain County Commissioners, broadcast exclusively on your Lorain County Community College education station. The Lorain County Commissioners cordially invite you to see the meeting live and in person every Thursday morning. The meetings are located in the Lorain County Administration Building, located at 226 Middle Avenue in downtown Elyria. The meetings start at 9:30 a.m. on most weeks. Now, enjoy the meeting.
Thomas has a question. I need to chat with him.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I felt like I hit the floor.
It looks like.
Good morning and welcome to the July 12th meeting of Lorain County Board of Commissioners. My thoughtful calendar for today says, quote, "Victory belongs to the most persistent." Madam Clerk.
Okay, there are no scheduled appointments this morning. Under resolutions, I need a motion to approve the Job and Family Services bills for payment.
So moved. Second.
Discussion. Mrs. Vacy?
Aye.
Mrs. Blair?
Aye.
Mr. Moore?
Aye.
Investments?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Mrs. Blair?
Aye.
Mr. Moore?
Aye.
Mrs. Vacy?
Aye.
Appropriations?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Mrs. Blair?
Aye.
Mr. Moore?
Aye.
Mrs. Vacy?
Aye.
Transfers?
So moved. Second.
Discussion. Mrs. Vacy?
Aye.
Mrs. Blair?
Aye.
Mr. Moore?
Aye.
There is one advance today for $12,363.42 for the Community Development Block Grant for them to pay some bills.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Mrs. Blair?
Aye.
Mrs. Vacy?
Aye.
Mr. Moore?
Aye.
Requisitions?
So moved.
So moved. Second. I do have a question. Is Ron here? Yeah, Ron, there was a couple on here for sewer tap-ins. I tried to reach you by phone. Couldn't get you. Do we normally pay for sewer tap-ins?
If they're low and moderate income, this is a fiscal year 98 project. In total, this is the last two of 17 that we said we would do, and I think this is number 17 and 18. We were able to do one more than we had agreed to. But if they're low income, income eligible, and on a sewer line in this particular case, it's in Sheffield Township, yes, we are able, and that's part of the grant, and this is the final one.
Okay, how do you normally find the people that are qualified or
This was a request from the township. Remember, this was a sewer project that the commissioners helped pay for through the sanitary engineer back in 96, 97. We worked with the township. They've requested CDBG funds to do just that, to help low-income people in that neighborhood pay for the tap and part of the permit application that was necessary. We also paid $265 for a permit. That's not the assessment that's charged. It's just the permit that basically we pay to the county, and then the county reimburses the city of Lorain to allow for that tapping. And then we take the applications, we have an inspector go out and look at these sites to verify that yes, this is going to hook the entire household up onto that new sewer line. We verify their income, make sure that they meet the guidelines for the number of people in the household for household income, and then we secure bid prices on the actual tie-in to the sewer and to that household, and then have a final inspection after the work is done to make sure that it was done in accordance with the requirements.
so as long as people are within the jurisdiction of the county and they qualify, they're eligible for this?
Yeah, and this particular one, it was specifically for Sheffield Township. Anybody that was on a sewer line for the county in living in Sheffield Township that was income eligible, yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Ron.
Sure.
Any more questions? Mrs. Blair?
Aye.
Mrs. Vacy?
Aye.
Mr. Moore?
Aye.
Travel expenses?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Mrs. Blair?
Aye.
Mr. Moore?
Aye.
Mrs. Vacy?
Aye.
Approving bills for payment.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Mrs. Vacy?
Aye.
Mrs. Blair?
Aye.
Mr. Moore?
Aye.
I'd like to authorize various personnel actions as indicated on the summary for employees within the jurisdiction of Lorain County
Madam
Commission.
Clerk, I checked with the Human Resources Director this morning, Mr. Fote, and he said there was no summary sheet, correct, Jeff? Right. So there's nothing for us to act on.
But I would like to request an executive session in regards to personnel, a disciplinary issue that we have. I think there's a couple of them that go back to the Human Service Department on those grievances.
Yes.
Okay. I'd like to authorize various deletions and or additions for Lorain County Children's Services to utilize their Shell Oil, Gas, and Credit Card in the amount not to exceed $500. The employees' names will be listed in the resolution.
So moved.
Second.
In discussion? Mrs. Vacy?
Aye.
Mr. Moore?
Aye.
Mrs. Blair?
Aye.
To award bid to David Williams and Associates of Alliance, Ohio, in the amount of $25,900 for the Amherst Township Playground. This is a fiscal year 2000 Community Development Block Grant funded project, and 3 bids were received. This was the most responsive.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Mrs. Blair?
Aye.
Mr. Moore?
Aye.
Mrs. Vacy?
Aye.
I'd like to authorize the reappointment of Mary Ann Teitelbaum to Lorain County Children's Services Board for another 4-year term, effective retroactive to July 1st, 2001, expiring June 30th, 2005.
I understand that we have a couple candidates for this position, and just by way of conversation, the code provides for 4 positions in the Children's Services Board, and over a period of time we have added up to a total of 13, which we are allowed to have. And we have a full complement of 13 at this time. Most of these positions expire in December of a given year, but there were some add-ons, and they happened midterm, so the law requires 4-year terms, so then their terms expire in June. I believe we got a request from the president of the Children's Services Board to reappoint this individual, and she has not had a full term. I would like to make that comment, and then I would like to comment that there are 4 terms that expire in December. So what are we going to do with this issue?
Can I say something?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. No, I have 4 individuals that, since I've been in office, have requested to be on this board.
4, good.
Oh, yeah, everyone's wanting to volunteer for this one. I couldn't get anybody for the other boards, but what I did is I asked Dr. Crow for a list of the appointments, and out of the appointments, 3 on the board right now are Michael Ross's, 3 are Betty Blair's, and 7 are Commissioner Vacy's. And according to this one today, this is a Commissioner Vacy. I mean, not whether or not, I mean, that's what they got documented on their list here. And according to the last update I got, we weren't going to have any appointments until the end of the year, and then this one kind of came up quickly on me. And so what I wanted to do was I passed around a bio on somebody that came to me and wanted to participate on the board, so I was hoping I could get my individual nominated for this position.
Are there any other openings, Betty, when you checked?
Not until December.
Well, what I did is I took this list here that they gave me, and we have Mr. Billman, he'll be up this December, and Jean, I can't say her last name, Mashari,
Yes.
and Heidi Rocker-Broski, and Olga Serrano, and today, Mary Ann Teitelbaum. There's 5 appointments this year that will be coming up, and so I was recommending my candidate to at least fill this seat, since we've already appointed 3 this year.
No, we haven't
That were-
appointed anybody this year, have
Well,
we?
yeah, we've done 3.
We did reappointments?
We did
I'm
3
sorry.
appointments that were in February, on February 11th,
Oh.
for 4-year
Time-
terms.
Time passes really fast.
I know, especially when you're having fun. So I think I sent it around the bio on Barb Kilgore to participate in the board.
I hate to just remove someone without good cause.
We're not-
And Mary Ann Teitelbaum, I mean, she's got some good background. She's an Ohio school psychologist. and she's worked with the crisis committee. She's got a tremendous background
Oh, I
when
agree.
it comes to children.
Nope, I agree. My argument is...
Well, I'm not arguing
Commissioner,
your point.
no, I'm just saying my argument, as an argument, is that I don't have any appointments on this board. And there's 4 more coming up December, but, you know, like I said, that there's 3 of us up here, and there will be 4 appointments in December.
You don't want to wait till December?
No, I'd like to have Barb Kilgore participate, and nothing against this appointment either, the reappointment of Ms. Teitelbaum. Nothing at all. So, there's no motion. I mean, do you want,
No, we
do
were
you want
just
to talk
kind of
about it, or kind of we're just
discussing.
discussing?
You want to take it under consideration
Okay.
and come to a decision next week?
Well, that's fine, if you want to do
You
that.
wanna
Would
do
you rather
that?
table it? Okay.
Just to hold it until next week, and maybe we can get some more information and help us to make a better decision. Okay, thank you
Okay.
for the discussion.
Thanks.
Okay, we'd like to authorize the reappointments of Vivian Charlton, Martin Marati, and Rhonda Smith as members on the Alcohol and Drug Addiction Services Board. Terms are effective retroactive to July 1st, 2001, expiring June 30th, 2005. Also need to appoint Ellen Nunez Raymond to fill the seat of Barbara Wargo, whom will not seek reappointment, and term is effective retroactive to July 1st, 2001, also expiring June 30th, 2005.
Also move.
A second.
Discussion? Mrs. Blair?
Aye.
Mr. Moore?
Aye.
Mrs. Vacy?
Aye.
I'd like to authorize the release and payment of retainage to R.A. Joseph Construction of Avon, Ohio, in the amount of $910.96 for work performed on the Grafton Township Building School project. The contract is complete, and the contractor has submitted the necessary paperwork.
So moved.
Support.
Discussion? Mrs. Blair?
Aye.
Mrs. Vacy?
Aye.
Mr. Moore?
Aye.
I need to accept and approve the improvements of Hillside Subdivision Number 8 in Amherst Township, Edward J. and Wanda Lee Gargas developers, and accept the maintenance agreement for a period of 1 year. The plat for Hillside Number 8 is recorded in Plat Volume Number 66, page 34 and 35, in Lorain County Record of Plats as follows. Stone Valley Drive with a road number of T-226 extending northerly from the north line of Hillside Number 7 of 599.27 feet or 0.113 miles in length. Need to authorize the release of the maintenance bond for Hillside Number 7, and the letter of credit for $8,000 has been issued by Lorain National Bank.
And Madam Clerk, you and I spoke about this yesterday. Has the prosecutor had a chance to review this?
No. He's not signed off. You want to hold it?
I think that you should review that before we accept it, do you not? I mean, this was submitted by their attorney, but I think that just for, we're not going to harm anything if we wait a week, are
No.
we? Okay.
We can put on
Would you
hold till next week.
please hold that till next week?
Sure. Okay, I'd like to appoint and reappoint various members to the Lorain County 911 Review Board, and appoint Commissioner Betty Blair as chairman of the 911 Review Board.
Unless there are any volunteers?
No, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
I did.
Also moved.
Second.
Okay.
Any discussion? Mr. Moore?
Thanks.
Aye.
Mrs. Vacy?
Aye.
Mrs. Blair?
Aye.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you very much.
I'd like to approve and enter into a renewal agreement to update the space report for the County Department of Job and Family Services with Maximus of Concord Township, Ohio, in the amount not to exceed $3,000. And I will need to add to that to authorize the president to execute on behalf of the board.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Mrs. Blair?
Aye.
Mrs. Vacy?
Aye.
Mr. Moore?
Aye.
To authorize payment of $1,000 to Schwartz Spence Boyer Funeral Home for burial costs related to indigent veteran Daniel Robert Hayer. This payment is in accordance with the Ohio Revised Code, Section 5901.29 through 5901.32, and has been recommended by Lorain County Veteran Services.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Mrs. Blair?
Aye.
Mr. Moore?
Aye.
Mrs. Vacy?
Aye.
I'd like to authorize the appointments and reappointments of various members on the Lorain County Local Emergency Planning Commission effective August 14th, 2001 through August 13th, 2003.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Mrs. Vacy?
Aye.
Mrs. Blair?
Aye.
Mr. Moore?
Aye.
I'd like to approve and enter into various contracts on behalf of the Lorain County Department of Job and Family Services and Lorain County Commissioners as follows. The first one for Medicaid Outreach Program, effective retroactive to July 1st, 2001 through June 30th, 2002, in the amount not to exceed $109,112.10. And the Call Out Church Daycare Center of Elyria, Ohio, for child care services effective August 1st, 2001 through December 31st, 2001. We'll also need to authorize the president to execute on behalf of the board.
So moved. Second.
Discussion? Mrs. Vacy?
Aye.
Mrs. Blair?
Aye.
Mr. Moore?
Aye.
I'd like to advertise for bids for Lorain County Department of Job and Family Services, announcing the availability of funds and seeking proposals from agencies to provide job training, placement, and retention program. Proposals will be received until 2 p.m. August 1st, 2001, and will be advertised in the Chronicle Telegram and Morning Journal on July 13th and 20th, 2001.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Mrs. Blair?
Aye.
Mr. Moore?
Aye.
Mrs. Vacy?
Aye.
I'd like to advertise for bids for the vacant property located at the intersection of Olive Street and East 39th Street in Lorain, Ohio. Parcel number 03-00-103-121-017. Sealed bids will be received until July 27th, 2001 at 2:30 p.m. And this will be advertised in the Chronicle Telegram and Morning Journal on July 13th, 2001.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Mrs. Vacy?
Aye.
Mr. Moore?
Aye.
Mrs. Blair?
Aye.
I'd like to issue a notice to proceed letter to Little Construction Incorporated of Worcester, Ohio, and this is an incorrect statement here. It's for the Gore Orphanage Road Cold Mix Project, effective retroactive to July 5th, 2001. The contract was awarded by resolution number 01-589. It was adopted June 21st, 2001.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Mrs. Blair?
Aye.
Mr. Moore?
Aye.
Mrs. Vacy?
Aye.
I'd like to approve and enter into a memorandum of understanding between the Lorain County Board of Commissioners and the Farm Service Agency for approximately 1,493 square feet of assigned lease space at 42110 Russia Road, Elyria, Ohio, in the monthly amount of $1,216.17 for the first year, and then thereafter $1,313.46 monthly for the remaining 4 years. This will be effective retroactive to July 1st, 2001 through June 30th, 2006.
Mr. Fote has an amendment that needs to be offered to that, Jeff.
In addition to that, those amounts reflect carpet being replaced, not to exceed $6,000, and minor improvements in the interior. The lease reflects us being reimbursed for that $6,000 over that 5-year period. Actually, we'll continue to be reimbursed after that, but that's okay. So it's a benefit to the county. Plus, we own the building, so we're going to get both reimbursed for it and the benefit of the improved maintenance of the building.
Is there any way we can use recycled carpet in there? Has anyone looked into that?
I can contact them and talk to them about it. No, that didn't come up because since we were reimbursing them, I really felt it was their thing to do. But I know they would be happy to save the money, so let me suggest that to them.
Okay. And then we can get the money from the solid waste department to pay for that.
Yeah, since we're going to put it up front, correct?
Yeah, they
Okay.
can front the money and then, if possible, return it back.
Okay.
Also move.
Second.
Any more discussion? Mrs. Blair?
Aye.
Mr. Moore?
Aye.
Mrs. Vacy?
I would caveat that that Jeff is looking into the recycled carpet.
Thank you, Jeff.
I'd like to authorize the Northridge Road to be closed to one-way traffic during the Lorain County Metropolitan Park District Pioneer Festival Days, and these dates are incorrect. It should be September 8th and 9th, 2001. The Lorain County Engineer has reviewed and has no objections to this closure.
Also move.
Second.
Discussion? Mrs. Blair?
Aye.
Mrs. Vacy?
Aye.
Mr. Moore?
Aye.
I'd like to appoint Barbara Schraell to the Lorain County Fair Housing Board to fill unexpired term of Patricia Robinette, who's resigned. The term is effective July 12, 2001, expiring February 21st, 2003.
So move.
I didn't get a bio on this one.
Yes, you did.
I got a letter. I didn't get a bio.
Oh.
I asked Paula yesterday, did you get it yet? We haven't gotten it yet. Oh, you haven't received a bio yet? I have one on somebody else that was to you, but I don't know how I got that one. But, I got one on that, but I didn't get one on this one.
I-
Could we wait till next week?
Sometimes,
Oh, okay.
in the past, sometimes they send them and sometimes they don't.
Could we wait till next week on that one?
We can hold it till next week. Give us an opportunity to look at it. Is that okay?
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
Okay, hold this.
Thank you.
Okay, amending resolution number 01-578, Part E, that was adopted June 21st, 2001, approving and entering into a service agreement on behalf of the Lorain County Department of Job and Family Services and Talks Corporation, the WARC number. The amendment is to reflect a decrease in the cost of $350 per month rather than the average of $598.50 per month to verify employment and employer Social Security number searches.
And this is a flat $350 per month. Also move.
Second.
Discussion? Mrs. Blair?
Aye.
Mr. Moore?
Aye.
Mrs. Vacy?
Aye.
I'd like to award bid to Smith Paving and Excavation Incorporated of Norwalk, Ohio, in the amount not to exceed $18,686 for the fiscal year 2000 Community Development Block Grant Removal of Architectural Barriers, Handicapped Curb Ramps, City of Avon Lake, Ohio. The City of Avon Lake will pay Smith Paving directly, and the county will reimburse the City of Avon Lake. 3 bids were received, and this was the lowest and most responsive, and the City Council of Avon Lake has approved this on June 11, 2001. This project utilizes state and federal funds, therefore is exempt from the county's local preference resolution.
Also move.
I'll second.
Discussion?
Mr. Twining, did you want to make any comments on this project for the board?
Thank you, Commissioners. This is a 2000 CDBG project. I think this is there are 2 more projects from that year that we are still bidding to do the work. We're excited about this project. The engineer's estimate was for $18,600, so it is $86 over that amount. We're asking that the full amount be approved. We're doing a transfer to cover the $86, and in exchange, the City of Avon Lake is going to pay for the advertisement on that, so we won't incur that cost, and it is permissible under the guidelines of this grant. Our recommendation is to approve this, and it should be some of the last sidewalks and curb cuts necessary in Avon Lake. They should be fully compliant with the ADA requirements now.
Thank you. Madam Clerk?
Mrs. Blair?
Aye.
Mr. Moore?
Aye.
Mrs. Vacy?
Aye.
After providing for the issuance and sale of $90,000 Administrative Office Building Renewal Notes, Series 2001, in anticipation of the issuance of bonds for the purpose of acquiring and renovating an existing building to provide required housing for administrative offices. This building is the Educational Service Center and Lake Avenue in Lorain, Ohio.
This is a cooperative and ongoing arrangement that the county has had with the Lorain County Schools for a number of years, and the principal amount keeps decreasing. I was at a meeting this past week, and I spoke to Superintendent Wayne Ross, and he indicated that because of the law changes that was recently enacted, he would be requesting a meeting with our administrator to talk about how we might do these things in the future. So I just wanted to let the board know about that.
Now, what was this, a 50-50?
I don't believe
With
so.
the county and the Board of Education?
I don't remember. This was worked out years ago. Was it 50-50? It was before I came.
Well, how is this one, John, the 90,000?
This is the remaining obligation, Commissioner, of the Lorain County Board of Education. The Commissioners have paid off their portion of the 50-50 obligation several years ago. This is the remaining amount that's being refinanced and then paid down by the Lorain County Board of Education each year.
Okay, because I know there is some legislation that's going to change the way the county participates with Board of Education.
Yes.
Also move.
Second.
Any more discussion? Mrs. Blair?
Aye.
Mrs. Vacy?
Aye.
Mr. Moore?
Aye.
Okay, comments? Mr. Cortez is on vacation. Dr. Ballard?
No report, no comments.
That's twice.
Thank you. Okay. All right.
Assistant County Prosecutor, Mr. Ennis?
I have no report this morning.
Commissioners report.
I have a couple things. We have a group of children here from the Salvation Army Summer Program. Yes. Hi, guys.
It's a Good Shepherd
Gals.
daycare center.
Thanks
Welcome.
for coming.
Hal, can you pick up some of those wonderful faces there in the audience? Oh, come on, guys. Smile. Wave at the camera.
Want to stand up so we can see you better?
Yeah, there you go.
Pardon me? The director is here?
No, she's not.
But some of those
Oh,
wonderful
okay.
teachers are Miss Virginia and,
Miss Cynthia.
thank you. The reason I know these young ladies is because my grandchildren went there for several years. I'm not sure they were glad to see me coming. But thank you.
And I had some questions for Jim, but since he's not here today, I don't think you can answer them. One was the EMA building expansion, the cost and the contributions to, from the cost that would be associated with contributions from solid waste
I think
for
Jim can answer
recycle,
that.
carpeting, and, yeah. Okay, and then another one, on May 3rd, at the May 3rd meeting, the NACO collection of fines and fees that are outstanding, that the county has problems collecting. NACO had an association that would probably assist the county in collecting those,
Yes.
and he was going to look into that.
He has, that's being looked into now. We've made contact with them, and I believe also Commissioner Moore had a proposal that he forwarded, so those things are being looked at, and next we meet, there should be a report.
I know several years ago, we had an agency that thought that they could come in and collect these, and then decided later that they were uncollectible.
Yes.
That's why I'm really wondering how NACO is, how they've found someone that could collect these.
They appear to have had some success in some locations collecting the fees.
Okay. And then the other question was on Green Acres. Where are we at with that? The Boys and Girls Club.
Again, Mr. Cordes would need to answer that. Several agencies have expressed some interest in using the location, but nothing is final, and that's still in process.
Okay. And Hal Rogers has offered to help us to update the county video so that we can, when we go to Moody's, we can get a better rate on our bonds, on our credit rating, and that would probably assist us when we go to borrow money for the Justice Center. Hal hasn't come to an exact amount yet of what he thinks it would cost. And then I had another question. Could we actually hire Hal, or do we have to go out for RFPs?
These are all things I
Yvonne,
think that can be worked out.
how would we work that?
I'm sorry.
It would probably be under the 15,000. We wouldn't have to go out for bids.
No, we wouldn't have to. Basically, it's Hal's the only
RFPs?
one that we can receive proposals or RFPs or quotes off of it, if, to see if we can get a better price or whatever Hal's going to give us. We can look for another company to probably do us the same.
Well, I'll meet with Hal sometime, either this week or next week, and talk to him about what we think it needs to update it, and then Hal can give us a better price on it.
Good, thank you.
And that's all I have.
Commissioner Moore?
As long as it's not $14,999, right?
$14,999.
Hal's over there, yeah. That's the joys of being here, Hal.
For the benefit of those who might not know who Hal is, he's the man behind the camera.
Because you're running stand from the camera.
Yeah.
You talk about $14.99 though. When I did the videotape,
Yeah.
they were running as high. I think Cuyahoga spent like $30,000 for theirs.
Oh, yeah.
And ours cost us like $300 when we did it.
That's because you did all the work.
Well, yeah.
Let's see, Commissioner's report. Last Friday, I participated in a discussion with the Lorain County Community Action Agency. It was a good discussion, and they had some ideas, and there's an opportunity for the county to participate in something very positive for this county. And since I'm not as educated to communicate what those positive needs are, I've asked Barb to speak on my behalf, though, to tell her, because I might have a hard time trying to explain to her, and I'd rather have the person that told me what was going on explain it to the two of you. So Barb Aldridge, the Lorain County Community Action Agency, is here to speak.
Good morning.
Morning, Barb.
First, on behalf of Anna Taylor Clark, the President and Chief Executive Officer of Lorain County Community Action Agency, our Board of Trustees, our Head Start Policy Council, our 300-plus staff, and the 7,000 children and families that we serve, I want to say thank you for allowing us the opportunity to present to you the Visionaries project. I'm a little nervous this morning, partly because this is the first time I've had the opportunity to come before the commissioners, but probably more the nervousness is due to the excitement I feel about this project. Visionaries is a nationally known program. Visionaries is part of the public broadcasting system, PBS. Visionaries looks for organizations throughout the world that provide a positive image and have something new and exciting and motivating to offer the community, the viewing community. Visionaries Incorporated is based out of Boston. It is a program that is hosted by the acclaimed actor, Sam Waterston, who we all know from The Killing Fields, I'll Fly Away, and most currently, Law and Order. This program is a program that looks specifically at communities that are empowering the communities as a positive place to live. They are very, very accurate about what they portray regarding those communities. And there were over 4,000 applicants for the 2001 13-episode series of Visionaries, and Lorain County Community Action Agency, I'm very, very proud to say, was one of the programs that was selected to be highlighted through this process. Initially, with this excitement, one of the things, and there were some key factors that we had to consider. Number one, a nonprofit, and they only highlight nonprofit organizations. Nonprofit organizations, as you, I'm sure, are aware, cannot utilize grant dollars, public dollars, for marketing. It is an unallowable cost through our federal code of regulations. So they ask that programs, once they have been selected, work within their community to identify a sponsor for the program. And the cost of the program is $47,315. And we had an initial sponsor from Cuyahoga County. And they were slated to come July 23rd through the 27th to spend a week going throughout the county and getting footage of all parts of Lorain County and looking at what is currently happening with families. Now, as you are all aware of Lorain County Community Action Agency, we work with low-income to moderate-income families, except for our senior programs, which has an age requirement, but there is no income requirement for seniors to participate. That sponsor, after reviewing the impact that it would have on their market, although they obviously do serve some Lorain County families, felt that it would not really generate the kind of marketing that they felt initially, even though they were very excited about it being a national program. So therefore, they were unable to provide and commit to that funding for us. So we had an opportunity when Mr. Moore visited our agency to talk about this program, and once again I thank him for the opportunity to talk more in depth about the program today. We feel that Lorain County Community Action Agency is only one of the players, but the whole program, when we look at it, will really highlight all of Lorain County. It will show Lorain County as a good place to live, that has good people, that have people that care about the community, people who are committed to assisting families within our community be successful. We feel that it will bring individuals, employers, excitement, and more importantly, pride to Lorain County if we are able to participate in this project. It will be viewed in 120 PBS stations nationwide. They are in 40 countries, 6 continents across, so they're international. It really is a very exciting project. One of our goals in Lorain County Community Action Agency is to help all families be self-sufficient, and we do that through the dream of home ownership. So we were going to highlight our Phoenix housing project. which is a project where we have put over 50 low-income families as first-time home buyers into homes. We were going to have them also look at our early childhood education program where we serve infants and toddlers, preschoolers throughout Lorain County, our senior programs, our youth programs. We also have a shared living facility for seniors. We have disabled housing, so we're going to take them throughout the county. We have 14 sites in Lorain County, in the cities of Lorain, Elyria, Oberlin, North Ridgeville, and LaGrange. So we really feel that this impacts the whole county, and that's why we felt it was an excellent opportunity for the commissioners to assist us in this process. I think one of the things that truly makes it exciting, and a point that we highlight, is that we feel that it is the vision for every citizen in our community to have the opportunity to live, to learn, to love, and to leave a legacy. And so with that in thought, I would present to the commissioners of Lorain County that they consider supporting this proposal for $47,315 to support the production of this 13-episode public service series. It is scheduled to be premiered in the fall 2001. They will provide us with 100 video tapes of the series prior to its premiere in the fall, so that we can use that countywide to, as we talk to prospective employers that are coming into the county, as we work with the educational institutions, as we work with families. We will have those available to share throughout the county. And we just feel it is a wonderful opportunity. Thank you very much. And before I sit down with my excitement, I want to recognize two of our board members here. We have Mr. Norman Bliss, Mrs. Peggy Chamberlain, and I would like for the executive team, management, Head Start folks that are here that came to support this, just to kind of stand up and wave to the camera. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Barry. I tried to get this on the agenda, but the commissioners didn't have all the information, and all I had was more of what you gave me, which was more of a the bios on the actor, and it was more of a PR piece. And I was hoping to share the information you gave me to the other two commissioners to see how exciting this is. So I was trying to get it on the agenda. I tried, and I couldn't do that. So,
Well,
you know,
thank you for the opportunity.
Yes.
And I'm available. Actually, we're all available for questions because we all are very excited about this project.
Well, don't leave the
I'll leave the
microphone because
microphone,
I think we might have some questions.
Yes. Well, no, I think this is a fantastic opportunity for the county, just because anytime you get any recognition locally or within the region, but we're going to expose this county on a national, international basis. And if you take a look at the power of who's going to see this, and you divide that by $47,000 at the cost of a 30-second commercial, this is pennies. And with what we have unencumbered, I figured this is just a drop. This is for what we have encumbered, which I talked to Mr. Rokasi. It's not going to really affect any of our other programs that we have. And so I felt that this was just a small thing that we, the three of us, or the commissioner's office, could participate in. Now, since the other agency is back down, I know you guys talked, they also offer maybe sharing this cost with the other agency, but since they've already backed down once, I was afraid that if we made a motion and passed to do a 50-50 with this other group, and then they back down again, we missed an opportunity, I think, of a lifetime for this county to be promoted on a national basis. So I felt that it was more of my recommendation to support the whole project so that the PBS can see that the Lorain County Commissioners wholeheartedly support the promotion of this county through this series. And so it wasn't their reason to ask for the whole amount, it was my reason.
I do have a couple questions.
Okay, so that's just...
Number one, what is the time frame in which a decision has to be made about the dollar amount? I mean, you have to have this money. What is your time frame for acquiring it?
Our time frame for acquiring it, the most positive time frame for acquiring it would be as soon as possible, because we still are on their agenda to come and to do the production of the series July 23rd. If we are not able to confirm that we do have a sponsor at that time, we will be taken off the agenda, and I don't know, I have no way of knowing when we would be put back on that agenda to be in the production for the fall.
So you don't have a drop-dead date?
The drop-dead date for this production is July 23rd.
Okay, then my second question is, Commissioner Moore referred to it, but I like the idea of partnerships, and it seems to me that there ought to be some other people who would be interested in this besides just the Board of Commissioners.
I agree. I think, you should probably talk to the Visitors Bureau, the Chamber of Commerce, some banks, the other municipalities, maybe the Methodist Home, maybe Kendall.
Have you thought of anybody else that might be interested in participating? I mean, do you, I'm sure that you've discussed this among your board members and stuff. Do you have any other possibilities?
I'm going to defer that to a board member at this time. Mr. Bliss, are you aware of any other sponsors, potential sponsors for this project?
Well, I just echo the commissioner's suggested list. I think that the Chamber of Commerce would be natural, the Visitors Bureau. There's some private sector interest as well, and to support a cause like this. I mean, the national impact is significant for Lorain County, and I think that's, when you look at the cost breakdown, it's going to warrant some support. So.
And then I hate to do this to you, Mr. Twining. The commissioners allocated some marketing dollars to your community development efforts. In view of the housing portion of this, is there any relationship? You know, we give it to you and then we want it back. And I don't know if it fits the category that we outlined or not. And this is your department, so I'll just put you on the spot.
Is that the definition of strings attached?
Not necessarily.
As we understood our request from the commissioners when that was set up, it was to market for jobs and job retention. We'll take a look at what the funding requests and liability are for this year, and we will give a report to the commissioners by tomorrow to let them know whether there's any portion that will be unspent that we could use.
Thank you very much. I think there's a little
well, let me tell you,
homework that we could do.
I don't think so. I think we are out of time.
No, we're not, David. This is only the 12th.
This is the 12th, but they need to get a letter of intent to these people in Boston to make sure that they, I mean, they're not going to come, they're not going to fly out here on the 23rd not knowing that there's money here. I mean, that's, I'm just thinking if I was them, and PBS, the reason why they're nonprofit is because of this type, this is how they get their productions done. I don't want to jeopardize, I don't want to be a part of something that's going to jeopardize the project. And this is something that's very positive. $47,315 in the unencumbered account that we have for this year is nothing compared to what we have unencumbered. I would love, I think this, I agree, I think this should be a community effort. I think it should have been, I think the fact that they had a sponsor for 100%, and I think they got, well, I don't want to say what happened, but they didn't get their money. They got backed out at the last minute. It could have been a joint effort with, I think it could have been a joint effort with, well, maybe your organization, sir. You know, I don't know. But,
well, it still could be.
Yeah, we could be, but I think I'd like to see if we could form a letter of intent that if they cannot get the funding, I'd like to fund the whole project because, but then again, once you tell a group that we'll fund the whole project, it'll be very difficult to get the money. But I think they need to know that this project's going to be available, or they're going to, the people in Boston need to know that Lorain County wants this. It's almost like the state right now. If they see any hesitation, they'll take number 2 on the list instead of number 1. And that's what I'm afraid of, missing an opportunity here.
Well, I certainly
that's what I see. If you, if they could get the money elsewhere, I think it'd be great. But if this was May, yeah, I'd say let's do, you know, split it in fifths or what have you. But the fact of the matter is, it's going to be promoted by Lorain County. I mean, the sponsor is going to be the Lorain County Commissioner's Office.
This is the first community action agency that has ever been highlighted. So it's an opportunity, I think, to really look at a holistic aspect of communities. Needless to say, it shows how communities in partnerships, and we have, even just with the Head Start program, over 21 partners as we provide services, but how you work towards a better community for Lorain County. And I forgot to say in the initial remarks that, you know, it goes without saying that the sponsor is also part of that filming process. So it really includes the whole community. I do agree that, because I believe in partnerships, I believe in collaborations, true collaborations, putting things on the table and sharing those resources, human capital, otherwise. And because we did have 100% support initially, I do believe that's why it was not pursued among many individuals. We got this information last Friday. We had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Moore. That's why we're here today. But I do agree that shared participation is always a plus in this kind of project.
This is your court of last resort, is that what you're saying?
Well, yes, Honorable Commissioner Blair. I am really...
She's good. She got me to get her here. So. Well, I mean, that's just how I feel. So if we could, I mean...
Well, I've been asking to go over the budget for a couple of months now or better, and I'd like to do that before we start dishing out money, because we're faced with a lot of state cuts in the budget, and I don't know where we stand with that, so I hate to commit.
But you know, Commissioner Vasey, we could probably use this video in conjunction with the video that you're working on when we go to New York, and that this might be...
It's not going to be, oh, it's going to be one that they're going to just show 13 different times?
No,
it's a program. How long is the program?
It's a 30-minute program. It'll be a trilogy. It'll be Lorain County Community Action Agency. We don't know who the other two programs are that they're going to talk about. Ours will... Each one goes through the total segment of what they're providing as far as all of the filming and the community, meeting with individuals. They do individual interviews of families and clients, board members, commissioners, whoever, you know, wants to be a part of that filming process and has what they feel will make it an impactful series. Now, we know lots of things get cut, you know, when it comes to filming and putting things together, and we don't know what's going to end up on the floor of that.
Now, you said it's 30 minutes and
It'll
a
highlight
trilogy.
3 agencies.
So that means that Lorain County Community Action Agency and whoever is part of it gets 10 minutes?
Approximately, yes. That is my understanding.
Dr. Ballard, you had a question?
Yes. My question was similar to what Commissioner Blair has asked. If, in fact, we participate by sponsoring, what kind of footage and coverage will the commissioners get?
The commissioners, the sponsors are invited to participate in the filming, and it is up to the sponsor to decide what they want their participation to be.
So to the sponsor.
Yes. The commissioners may feel we don't want to be filmed. We are supporting this because we believe in having a better Lorain County, or they may want them to film a meeting such as today's meeting.
Yeah. Oh, but for 10 minutes, you're not going to get much.
Oh, yeah, you are.
Oh.
Now, just a minute. It's 10 minutes for Lorain County?
Yes, there will be 3 nonprofit organizations highlighted.
Are they Lorain County organizations?
No, this is the first time Lorain County, the first and only time Lorain County has been selected to be highlighted.
So actually, it's not 30 minutes, it's only 10 minutes for 13 episodes. So we're going to be shown 10 minutes for 13 episodes, 13 times.
Is that correct?
No.
This program will be shown 13 times, reruns,
No,
what
the
have
program,
you,
it's like a series. Usually it's like watching Cheers. You know, there's like 13 episodes in a season. This is going to be a season, but PBS plays and replays. It's almost like watching the county commissioners meetings.
Couldn't be that
It's not as exciting. But, you know what I mean? It's just something that PBS, if you ever watch PBS, it's a good program. PBS does get their shows out different time zones or different times during the day. And so what this is a promotion of, it might be a concept of what, obviously they picked Lorain County because of their partnership concept, and it probably picked out 2 other agencies. It probably wasn't even county agencies. We might be the only county agency in this 13-episode project, correct? I mean,
Yes, they have to be.
You don't know, right?
They're nonprofit, but it could be private nonprofit.
Right.
It's my understanding that there are 13 episodes, as Mr. Moore described, that will be played throughout this upcoming program year, just as they do with other programming. Usually a show has 9, I think, series, and then they run throughout the viewing period over and over and over again.
So what's meant by episodes?
Well, they refer to the segments as episodes.
So you'll have 13 different?
Yes, they'll have 13
videos.
different episodes this upcoming program year for the PBS Visionaries.
But will that be 13 different 10-minute videos?
That'll be 13 agencies, nonprofit, that are highlighted nationally and internationally for the upcoming program year. Out of the 4,000, 13 were selected. We're the only one, you know, in Lorain County or in Ohio, but throughout the nation. Well, actually, it's international. So out of 6 continents, those 13 episodes will highlight 13 different powerful, impactful communities where they feel that there is a vision. And that's where the Visionaries comes in.
Do you have a statement? Do we have a copy of the cost, the statement of cost?
I
mean,
yes, we can get that to you. I don't have it with me here, but I can get that to you.
You made application to be chosen? You weren't just picked at random?
We were identified, and they contacted us and asked would we be interested in submitting something for the upcoming program year.
Okay, make a motion to...
Well, Commissioner Moore,
Can I
you
do
can
that?
do whatever you want. You gotta get somebody to support it, though.
Okay, tell you what, let me try this. Let me make a motion. Well, let's do this, to go up to $47,315 to support the production, up to that amount, but how can I make sure, how do we make sure that this is gonna, if it, let's see, would you like just a letter of intent from us? Would that be fine, just a letter of intent that we will do that, and then when you bring us the bill, then we can reimburse it, so that we're not just giving your agency the money? Then I would like to say, to support a letter of intent to support 100% of the funding of the $47,315. I'm sorry, Roxy, she's ordering this. How's that? Is that okay? Then you guys today, which is July 12th, can call Boston and say, we have the letter of intent, we can get the funding, can you, just to ensure that we don't lose this opportunity. Okay, that's just a motion. That's just a motion. So,
I'd like to know where we stand in the budget before we make a decision.
Mr. Ogesee, how much money do we have in unencumbered funds?
That's not the question. My question is regarding the Justice Center. How much were we going to put towards the Justice Center of those unencumbered funds? And I think we have to make a decision. And not only that, but we have additional costs that we've encountered with the architects, and I think those were like $50,000 or better to review the cost and the size of the building.
Mr. Ogesee, you've been asked a direct question. Can you respond, please?
Yes. Of course, the Justice Center is a very complex issue. I'd say the short version here is that there's unencumbered, and I'm not encouraging or discouraging the board's views on this.
And we
there's
appreciate
approximately
that.
$6 million in unencumbered cash, which would be money, or is money, not dedicated to the Justice Center or other purposes right now. It's so-called discretionary money. So again, without trying to skew decisions, the $47,000 would not, in my opinion, have a major impact on any of the programs we have right now.
But we've been going into that money. At one point, we had almost $7 million, and we've been hitting into that money constantly, digging away at it. And if we keep this up, we're not going to have any money for the Justice Center, to tuck away for the Justice Center. I mean, you can't keep pulling money out of there without making a decision on how much you want to put away for the Justice Center.
It's a
And the
matter of
more you
priorities.
use out of this money, the more you're going to have to borrow for the Justice Center and pay interest on.
This is true. It's a matter of priorities, Commissioners, wherever the board feels there's priorities. The Justice Center has $22 million already committed, money in the bank, so to speak, towards that project on an estimate of a $45 million project. Obviously, any dollar spent for anything else that's unencumbered or discretionary would not go to the Justice Center, but again, I think in the totality of the picture, it's a matter of priorities and the impact of dollars going towards a project like this. So I think the board needs to look at
I'll save you, John.
the $47,000 versus the $6 million.
Yeah. Well, it's on moot if I don't get a second, so.
Almost like a congressional response.
Yeah,
isn't it?
well, the question's.
Well, but the question was, how much is the unencumbered
Right,
balance? And
right,
John
right. It's
responded that.
approximately $6 million to answer
$6
that
million,
question
and he also
specifically.
noted, in response to Commissioner Vacy's concerns, that we have already allocated $22 million towards a $45 million project, which is almost half.
That's correct.
I think that's very notable.
That's great.
So, and I understand what your intentions are, Commissioner Vacy, and I support that. But at the same time, I also support that the Justice Center cannot be our only focus. And while I am very sorry that we're asked to be a partnership, well, it is, with the Community Action Agency, because you were chosen. But I think partnerships means contributions from other people, too. And I understand, you know, you guys really put somebody on the spot. Because this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for our county, and I think it will help us with the video that you're working on. I think the two of them will go very well together. So I'll second your motion.
Discussion? Any more? Mr. Moore?
Aye.
Mrs. Blair?
Aye.
Mrs. Vacy?
Aye, but I hope that we don't continue to get these kind of requests. I hope that people, you know, when they come to the commissioners for funding, that they go to other sources too. It just seems like they just think that the commissioners have the deep well pocket and that we're really free with money. And I don't want to keep giving that impression, because we do have other priority projects that benefit the entire county also. And these are, you know, like the Justice Center, it's going to be something that's going to be here beyond any of our lifetimes. And right now, that's our major project. But thank you very much, and good luck with your
I want to say thank you on
video.
behalf of the agency and the community, and I am in agreement regarding the partnerships, and it was because it was a last-minute withdrawal that I'm in agreement in the partnership aspect, and we'll continue to forge towards additional partnerships for our agency and for our community. And once again, I just really thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Please don't stop there. Try to get some other funding for this project, and maybe you won't need the 46,000 or 7,000.
You're absolutely right. Yes, ma'am.
Would you coordinate this through Dr. Ballard? Because if they're coming on the 23rd, and how this is going to be handled, we need some coordination on the part of the county. So for our part, or our portion, whatever it might or might not be, would you coordinate with Dr. Ballard?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks again.
Did you have anything else you wanted to report on today, Commissioner Moore?
Do you want any more money?
No, but I do.
Oh, here we go.
No, I'm not even going to go there today.
Nope, I'm fine.
That's it?
I'll
Okay.
stop.
Okay, old business?
You know, you didn't even ask if I had one.
I thought you said no.
Sorry. That's perfectly all right. Go ahead, Madam Clerk.
Old business?
Get her all embarrassed.
I love it. I have no business that I can think of right now. How about anybody else?
Nope.
No,
New business?
Nope.
You want to bring it up under new business?
What?
Whatever you have?
No.
Oh.
I'll have it on the
What
agenda.
is joke?
Okay, I do want to ask one question. When are we going to go over the budget?
Well,
I thought
Mary
it was on
Jo.
the agenda and then it was taken off.
No, and I'll tell you why. I asked that it be taken off because the administrator is on vacation, and the last time we took it, we held it because Mr. Okasi wasn't here, and then one of the commissioners was not here. So I think, it's my opinion, that this is something we need all three commissioners for, and the budget director and our administrator. We need to sit down and roll up our sleeves. And we can't do it when somebody's not here.
Well, just stop taking vacations, everybody. Let's get down to business.
Did you say that before or after you took your vacation?
I don't have one yet. I didn't take it yet, but I will.
See? Just of note, I spoke to the budget department yesterday, and August 23rd is the date that they are projecting to have our budget hearing.
Tax budget hearing, Commissioner.
Okay, and that's during Fair Week. I just want to point out to you that that's during Fair Week. So if we go with that schedule, we're going to be here during Fair Week. Just want you to know.
I thought,
Well, that was discussed last week, so I
last
would
week I
know.
thought we discussed, we moved up the,
Well, as a matter of correlation, somebody needs to be talking to somebody.
Yeah, this is the tax budget. Just it's the first pass at the budget. It's not the hard budget developed for next year. It's just the
Okay.
first preliminary.
But it's the required budget hearing.
That's
And you're
correct.
going to have all the documentation worked out and present to us for acceptance that day.
That's correct.
And that's our drop dead date. We have to approve it that
By
day.
state law.
well,
That's
we have to
correct.
approve. What?
Can't we approve it before?
Yeah, or can we, we're gonna
Well,
have
we
discussion.
could, but if they're not done. Yeah, I'm just,
When
yes,
are you
you're
gonna be
right.
done?
Yes.
The
Well,
23rd?
no, not on the 23rd.
I'm done, here we go, guys.
By law, we have to have it passed, the board has to have this passed by the 23rd, but we'll have it done in advance so the board could review it.
How much more in advance?
10 days, possibly,
10
2
days?
weeks.
No, that's gonna be as thick as the budget, like,
Not quite, Commissioner.
okay,
There'll
so
be
I
a lot
have
of
10 days
data
to
in
read,
there. It's an important document. It's the first pass, first input of departments to the commissioners about what they're requesting for next year.
okay, so they're
2002.
gonna meet, we're not okaying it, we're just gonna have a first public hearing on it, is that what you're telling me?
It'll be for approval, but again, I think what's significant, it satisfies state code and the auditor's office to get a preliminary set of numbers for next year. What's important then is the board will develop, and the budget department later this summer and in the fall, the so-called final annual appropriation
Okay, so
for
we'll,
next year.
okay, so I'll have time.
That's the
to do-
first step.
Okay, because that's one of the things we've been talking about, is making sure that we're spending as much as we're taking in.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
'cause
this will be outlined.
Okay, because which is, I think once we have that, that will tie in with the budget discussion that you'd want to have, which I'm more worried about the next 5 years and where we're going.
The
And
long-range
Yeah, the
plan
long-range
for
plan, to make
developing,
sure, because the
right.
way it's planned out right now, we're having a deficit spending, so I want to make sure if we can do the cuts now, or make sure that everyone's in line now. Okay,
It's a good opportunity.
it would be a great opportunity.
So we're not off for the summer, we're working.
When have we been out this summer, babe?
Oh, I just wanted to make that note.
That's okay.
All right.
That's great, no, that's great.
Madam Clerk, board correspondence, I move the reading be waived.
Second.
Third?
Mrs. Blair?
Aye.
Mrs. Vacy?
Aye.
Mr. Moore?
Aye.
Public comment?
Public comment. Mr. Sherman?
Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you. Michael Sherman, S-H-E-R-M-A-N, Eaton Township, a lifelong Lorain County resident. I want to recognize the Commissioners for their proactive approach to stimulating the local economy by means of their local preference policy. A dollar that's issued here should be spent here, thereby regenerating itself and assisting the economy. When it comes to construction, a dollar that's earned here should also be spent here, also regenerating and stimulating the local economy. There is a systematic effort to destroy the standards in the public construction market, depriving workers of good wages and cheating taxpayers out of high-quality construction on public projects. Responsible bidder policies aid the public authority in their affirmative duty in determining which bid is not only the lowest, but the most responsible. And I have some handouts I'll be glad to leave with the clerk for both the commissioners, all the commissioners, the county administrator, and the county prosecutor. Prevailing wages were instituted in Ohio in 1931 by a Republican-led Senate and House. The purpose was to level the playing field for all contractors by ensuring workers would be fairly compensated for their labor. They also prevent unscrupulous contractors from bidding these projects at 1% to 2% low, then in turn paying their workers upwards of 40% less. Local school districts, and I cite the recent situation with the Amherst High School. Local school districts are painfully learning the lesson that the elimination of prevailing wages don't affect the cost savings that they originally had hoped for, and in turn are watching their tax dollars leave town by the wheelbarrow full. On June the 21st, you passed a resolution regarding Catholic Healthcare Partners bond monies, 140 bond monies. I requested from the clerk's office and received this morning a copy of that resolution. I fully am aware that 140 bond monies don't have a statutory requirement to implement prevailing wage, but the public authority is free to do so, and many counties in Ohio have done so, including Lorain County. Your past practice has been to include prevailing wage on those resolutions for the issuance of those 140 bond monies. I cite the recent resolution for the when you did the independent living facilities at the United Methodist Village Meadows project. In reviewing the resolution this morning for the Catholic Healthcare Partners, I found the prevailing wage requirements missing. My question, Commissioners, is the Commissioners deviating from past practice? Why wasn't it included? And will it be included in the public hearing that's coming up for the Elyria Memorial Hospital project on June the 21st, or I'm sorry, on July the 19th, I believe?
Mike, I talked with you the other day on the phone, and when we talked, I called Jim Cordes, and I asked him to review that, and he assured me that it was in there, and now you're telling me it's not in there?
Maybe somebody can help me, but I picked up a copy of the Resolution 01606 this morning, and I cannot find the prevailing wage requirements in that. Maybe somebody can help me with that.
We don't have to. We wait till Jim gets back, or is this something that's affecting the project now?
Well, I think we need to do a little homework on it, number one. We need to review that, and we also need to, Dr. Ballard, maybe you can handle this, also talk to Squire Sanders and Dempsey, who prepared the resolution, and number two.
Working on that now.
Excuse me?
I think Kathy Petrie is working on that now.
But working on what?
Well, for the EMH project.
Yes, but what I'm questioning about is, my question was it included in Catholic Charities, the Holy Humility of Mary?
Thank you.
And so we need to clarify whether it was or it wasn't. And then number two, the question is it going to be included? And we do have a public hearing that's going to be next Thursday, correct, Madam Clerk? So we need to review our past policy and find out. I mean, I don't think we can respond today, but we need to look at that.
And again, Commissioners, I want to thank you for your proactive approach of trying to re-stimulate and regenerate those local tax dollars. And this is certainly one way you can do it, although it's not mandatory. It's not required statutory, but many counties do, and you have done so in the past, and I'm appreciative of that.
Thank you. Mr. Twining, did you want to comment?
Thank you, Commissioners. We were first made aware of this question on Friday, and we've spent much of staff time this week investigating, and we have been, along with Roxanne and Karen Davis, in conversation on numerous occasions this week with Kathy Petrie at Squires. We're still, as you say, doing our homework, investigating both on the Catholic Health Partners and on Elyria Memorial.
So the issue with the Catholic healthcare bond is not finished yet, so it's possible that we still might have it in there, or if it's not in there, that we could still put it in there.
I think that's something we have to find out.
No, the bottom line is it too late?
That's one of the things that we're asking Kathy Petrie. She's had several calls into their legal counsel trying to get clarification on their understanding and procedures, and we're still checking that out at this point.
Okay.
And I guess Mike made reference to some past practices. I would also like to know, for comparison's sake, when we did this and on what projects.
I would as well, Commissioner.
Thank you.
We are checking that out as well.
Thank you, Mr. Twining. Other audience participation? Joe Rhodes? Oh, please. Joe Rhodes?
I'm the tour guide.
You'll have to speak up a little, Joe.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Please.
All right, I'll yell louder.
Good, thank you.
I'm the tour guide for the county and bringing the children in. And I just wanted to recognize one of the departments that you have in the building, the tax map department, is having a program which is called Christmas in July. And so they raise things for the children of the Salvation Army daycare. So when we get through with this, we're going to go visit our benefactors there. And I do have to commend the children that are here today, because I don't think in their classroom they sit that quietly. And also their instructors. But I appreciate it, and I appreciate the county commissioners and the tax map department. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Now, Miss Cynthia will bop them if they don't behave. Bob Kish.
I'll get a tape of this one. Bob Kish, Larry, Ohio. Commissioners, members of the audience, amigos. As a retired federal civil servant, my field of air traffic control could be reduced to 3 words: safe, orderly, and expeditious movement of air traffic. I feel these 3 words can guide the spending of Lorain County's finite taxes: safe, orderly, and prudent use of funds. Reading the Chronicle lately, I became interested in an article that spoke of the censorship of a class board meeting in Philadelphia. Citizens were allowed to speak, but the person doing the recording and the editing of the film was told, do not include the citizens' remarks on the tape. What the outcome of that is, I do not know. Another article in the paper interests me was Attorney Burge's claim of possible holding of evidence, exculpatory evidence. Is that censoring? I don't know. Perhaps it was a miscite. We'll find out. This continues. Then John Stossel had a broadcast, the fears of our environment being fostered on young children's impressionable, developing minds. Part of it was deleted. He was not allowed to show the entire broadcast. Is this censoring? I do not know. In May, I requested videotapes of commissioners' meetings I attended. As of this date, I have not received any videotapes. Are they being edited or censored? I do not know. I called just yesterday and asked about these tapes. Left a message on a tape. It was not answered. My trust in government is not 100%. A former president said, trust but verify. I am being denied this verification by the lack of these videos. Another member in this room had questions about a sunshine law and meetings being held regarding, I don't know what, I haven't been there. Anyhow, that sounds a bit like censorship. As of yesterday, no, I said that. Somebody once said, justice delayed is justice denied. Public access to public meetings is being delayed, possibly being denied. I do not know. I have not received them as of yet. It shakes my trust in government, all levels of it. All levels of it. As to taxes being inadequate at today's levels to build and operate the new Justice Center, do not worry. Tax reappraisals on non-government property are on the agenda. You will all be paying higher taxes on your property. Thank you very much. Kissing them, Sapin.
Thank you, Mr. Kish. I would just make 2 comments. You talked about government and like it's an entity, and it is, but government is an entity made up of people just like you. And secondly, I believe Mr. Cordez is working on the issue with the tapes, and since he is not here, we cannot respond to that.
Oh, the dubbing machine was on the purchase
I think we just approved the
requisitions today. We just approved it.
Mr. Ashenhurst?
So we'll have the machine to dub the tapes.
Okay, and then we'll spend more tax dollars hiring somebody to do them for you. How's that?
I don't think so.
They should already be here. Don't tell me. One less coffee break.
I'm just picking on you, Bob. Haven't seen you in 3 weeks, Bob, so I thought, you know.
Okay.
Did you get your garage cleaned?
It's remessed. I got a re-clean.
David Ashenhurst. Good
Hi,
morning.
I'm David Ashenhurst. That's Ashenhurst. I'm a citizen of Oberlin,
I have really three things to say, but I'd yield some of my time if the kids really, I mean, they've been awfully good here, and I don't know if it was our intention to keep you through a long meeting that doesn't sound terribly interesting, but I would yield some of my time to let them leave as quietly as they are sitting here if they would like to. If you'd like to stay for a few more minutes, that's fine.
Can I
Okay.
get PG-13 on us? Is that what you're doing?
Well, yes.
Oh,
it
yeah.
is.
Okay. Look, Joe.
Oh, the door prize is at the end of the meeting.
Oh, okay.
Well, I have three things, and one of them I'm afraid will not be all that easy. But three things. One, that as the commissioners and some others know, I'm sort of interested in the State Department functions of the county, as it were, the way the county relates to other counties and the region and the state and other things. And it's not in the correspondence list today, but I think it should be noted that the Northeast Ohio Area Coordinating Agency, the planning agency that covers this county and several others in this area, is meeting in Lorain County tomorrow down at Oberlin at the Environmental Studies Center at Oberlin College. Those meetings are also public. Some of our commissioners, some of our local government officials, some of our county administration are members of that body, but there are also representatives from 6 other counties and a very interesting group of people. It is worth going to see them operate every once in a while, just to see how decisions about roads and infrastructure and the environment are being made on a regional basis, as well as that then play out at a local basis. It doesn't look to be a terribly interesting agenda tomorrow, but the fact that it's in Lorain County and it isn't often here does provide an opportunity. I hope that some county employees will be able to be there, as they probably wouldn't when they have these meetings on a regular basis in Cleveland. Second, and somewhat related to the same kind of thing, I became aware yesterday that on the 9th of August, overlapping a meeting of the commissioners at this point, to my understanding, the Ohio Civil Rights Commission is making its first meeting outside of Columbus, which it plans to make on a more regular basis, and it plans to meet in Oberlin at the public library. As I see it at this moment, there is some information that has been made available to the Human Relations Commission in the city of Oberlin, but nothing to the county or to the County Fair Housing Board or some of the others that might be interested to know that our state Civil Rights Commission, which has some interesting overlap with what goes on in this county and with some of the agencies of the county, will be here on a fairly unprecedented basis. I would encourage such authorities in the county as might have interest in that to find out a little more about that meeting, and if possible to see if, I don't think their meeting can be changed, but I would like to ask if perhaps the commissioners could think about changing the time of their August 9th meeting so that people who might be interested in being at both meetings would be able to do so. And third, and something I didn't plan to say, I didn't really plan to say any of that, but a third thing I didn't plan to say, trying to be understanding of the pressure everyone feels and wishes to be responsive to, and without casting aspersions on anyone's motives or interests, I only want to say that I personally and as a citizen cannot admire the process permitted or followed in the matter of the Lorain County Community Action Agency request of $47,315 for what I understand is a 10-minute segment of a 30-minute episode of a 13-episode series. So as I understand it, there will be 39 organizations featured in this, not 13. But be that as it may, I'm very sympathetic for the commissioners that this action had to be taken in the absence of the administrator, in the absence of the kind of staff review that I think the commissioners would normally ask for in a matter of this kind. That there are other people and other projects in Lorain County that also have interests and would like the commissioner's support and would like it on any basis they can get. And I understand how the commissioners would feel put on the spot in a situation like that. I know the people in this room are very appreciative of your action, and it may be that, you know, at the end of the day, everybody would have said we do the same thing all over again. But I do think you open yourself up in permitting an action of that kind to be taken on the basis that it was, that you will find a room full of people and you will be asked to make decisions without the kind of review that you normally seek for expenditures of any kind, to be reviewed through process before it gets here. And I have not worked for a public authority in that way. I'm suddenly very thankful that I've worked for private agencies that can say, this is the deadline for asking us for things, we will consider it, we will talk among ourselves, and we will you know, make our votes publicly and our decisions publicly, but we will allow a scrutiny of things we are asked to do to go forth in an orderly fashion before we're asked to take a vote. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Is there anyone else who wishes to address the board? I'd just like to thank you for reporting and doing my report this morning that I got carried away with and forgot. It was about the NOACA meeting tomorrow in Oberlin, and I think one of the neatest features of Oberlin is the new Adam Joseph Lewis Research Center, and I think it's just a wonderful opportunity to invite people from 4 other counties to come and showcase some of Lorain County. We've been to Lorain, and we've been to Avon, and we've been to Avon Lake, and we've been to Carlisle Township, so this time we're going to Oberlin. It's an annual thing that NOACA does. They take their meetings on the road, and we go to each of the counties that are partners in this Metropolitan Planning Organization. And it gives people an opportunity to see, to visit somebody else's house, and I think it's wonderful. So the audience, anyone who's interested, is invited to come tomorrow at 10 o'clock. The meeting starts. I see no further audience participation. You want to make a motion to adjourn?
Well, we have to go into executive session.
Well,
We have
I'm
to
not
go
sure
into
that we're prepared for that.
I think we have to. Wasn't there a deadline on some of those
Yes, but my
grievances?
point is that I don't know if contact had been made with these people to come. The object of this hearing was to have these people present, and I don't believe has any arrangement been made to have these individuals here?
Come to hear the grievance?
Yeah.
No, I haven't got a consensus back from the commissioners on how they want to handle this. I think Commissioner Vasey was interested in hearing the grievances. I think Commissioner Blair and Commissioner Moore were considering having a designee hear the grievances, and I haven't been given clear direction.
Oh, so you need to know whether or not you can be a designee? That's what you need. You need direction from this board.
I need to know whether or not to schedule people or to be a designee or whatever.
Should we explain?
I thought that was going to be part of the purpose of this meeting.
What does the union contract say in regards to these grievances?
It says that they need to be heard within 20 days by the Board of Commissioners or their designee.
All right, what's the time period? How long have they been?
Well, we've got, for these two now, we've got until the 23rd of this month, I believe. 23rd or 21st, I'll double check and give you the exact date.
Is that all there was the 2?
Well, the one I made reference to before with the urgency, it's passed.
Well, because that passed, that's why I like the idea of having you be the designee, so we don't have that problem in the future.
I'm comfortable with whatever the board's direction is.
If we do the designee, then do we need an executive session, or?
wouldn't need it if you have a designee.
Okay.
But I do want to be present. I would like to hear what these people have to say.
That's whatever the board wishes. I can make your, what I'll do is make all the commissioners aware of when they're scheduled, and if there's a problem with your schedules, you can let me know right away if you choose to be there.
Well, as a designee, I'd like to know who the grievances are, when it's scheduled, and that's all, just in a memo format. As far as I'm concerned, I concur. I'd rather have you be our designee.
In the past, I felt that if the commissioners were going to hear this, it should include all three commissioners. And we'd had scheduling problems getting all three commissioners available at the time frame that was being set up. So it seems to me that if all three are not able to hear this, that it would be better if we had a designee to hear it and not miss the time frames that are required. So, and it's not deviating from what is available. It is provided for, is that correct? I think that's what Commissioner Basie asked, I'm just clarifying it. The commissioners can hear this or our designee. Is that correct?
Yes, but I don't want to interpret that to say that the commissioner couldn't be there. I mean, to answer your question, yes, that's what it says, but...
Well, I'm not, I guess that wasn't where I was going.
Okay, that was the issue that I thought was out there, so I just didn't want to have my answer misunderstood.
Okay. And I guess I was just trying to make the point that I felt that if from my perspective, if the commissioners were going to hold the hearing, all three commissioners should be there and participate. And if only two were going to be there, I would prefer to have the designee handle it. That was my...
I think Jeff's on the spot now.
No, I'm not.
No, I'm just...
That's the board's decision. I'll do whatever the board decides.
We're having a discussion, so how do you want to proceed?
I mean, I don't think, if the executive session was to discuss those, is that what it was? Our executive session was supposed to be for the three grievances, or the two grievances? Then as long as we got a designee, I'm not interested. I mean, I trust Jeff to handle the issues.
Is that a motion?
Oh, boy, I was doing that.
Well, I'm asking.
Okay, I'll make a motion to have Jeff Boyd, the HR director, be the designee for the commissioner's office in handling the grievances which is step 5. In the grievance process.
I'm now.
Is that right? Is that how?
That sounds good, but I still want to attend. I want to hear directly from these people.
Yeah, I will never deny a commissioner access to any meeting I'm holding.
Well, just so it's clear in your motion that, and I want you to know that I am going to attend.
I'll second that motion.
Discussion? Mr. Moore?
Aye.
Mrs. Blair?
Aye.
Mrs. Vacy?
Aye.
I wouldn't stop you from the board.
Oh, you couldn't.
I know, that's what I mean. Like.
Okay. Any other business to come before this board? If not, I'll move we adjourn.
I know you wouldn't stop me, but